Let's start with your reading, Aries. Today, we're going to look into your recent past, current energies, and near future. And then we will immediately clarify in order to find out more details about your messages. Now, let's begin right away with your reading. Okay. All right. The main energy for the reading today is the Magician. Someone here is deeply focusing on a situation. Even if they try to think about something else, this is something that they just cannot escape at this moment. Something is pulling their attention in, and it doesn't let them focus on anything else. This could be you thinking about someone or someone who is truly having a hard time stop thinking about you. I have to admit, there is a lot going on here, especially considering these energy on the table, but most of it, at least for now, seems to be underneath the surface, which means that at this moment in time, the information that I'm going to give you next might actually surprise you because you're not seeing any of this in reality yet. So let's see what this is about. First of all, in the recent past, Ace of Pentacles and Death reversed. You're coming from a situation that has ended before it actually did, if that makes sense. We see, in fact, here someone who kept holding on to this, kept holding on to what could have easily been a toxic relationship. But the fear of being alone, the fear of having to start all over definitely took over and created this very complicated dynamic in between the two of you, which you hoped it would eventually get better, but that it never really did. This is definitely something that you felt very conflicted about. And as soon as we come back to this, we'll try to find out the details of what happened. Now, in the current energies, we have the Four of Swords and the Page of Swords. This Page of Swords brings me immediately back to the Magician's main energy. We see how someone is still obsessing over a situation that right now seems to be stagnant. There is a person here who keeps staring at their phone, hoping for a message to come in, hoping for anything to move along so that they wouldn't have to be in this waiting state anymore. Someone is in desperate need for healing and they're waiting for something to come in to feel as though they are finally able to heal. There is an overall need for understanding. And if this is you, Aries, there is definitely something here that you should know about and that is going to help you big time, actually. Hang in there, we'll come back to this. In the near future, the Chariot and the Nine of Wands. You know, this Chariot right here looks very promising. Not sure yet where it's going to take you, but at least we do see movement. We do see an upcoming, very much needed transformation that potentially will finally take you out of this stagnation from which you've been trying to get out from a long time. This energy talks about excitement, feeling like you're yourself again, and overall overcoming any obstacle you are experiencing at the moment. We'll see what this is about. Now, let's start clarifying and let's begin with your recent past. By the way, Death right here, upright instead. Very interesting. Let's start clarifying and let's start with the first energies. Nine of Swords, Ten of Wands, Four of Pentacles. See, we were exactly talking about the fear, Knight of Swords, the fear of doing something, the fear of ending up worse than what you potentially were at the time. There is something here that you pretended it didn't happen, something you pretended to not know about. The details of it are going to be different for each one of you, obviously, but I do get the sense that this was something unexpected, something that went against the relationship, that really added a burden on the relationship, but especially on you. Something that at the end of the day made you unhappy because it didn't reflect your values, your goals. We do see that at first you might have tried to not make any sudden move, trying to resist change overall. It's as if you didn't want to go back to what life was before. Didn't want to start all over again, as we were saying. There are beautiful moments that you've had with this person in the past, and one thing that kept you around were, in fact, those memories. But at some point, you have to realize that change can be delayed, but not ignored. And eventually, the transformation will happen, whether we allow it or not. Whether we try to hold on, we try to maintain some sort of stability. This is clearly a false display of stability. And it's important to cut our losses instead of forcing ourselves in a place where we know we're not going to be happy. Okay? So let's see what's going on in the present and let's clarify the current energies. Eight of Swords, Justice, and the Hermit. Okay, with the Seven of Cups. Here's the thing. People come and go in our life. It's just the way it is. There is no need to fight it, no need to struggle with it. All we can do is accepting it and making the best out of it. Often disappointments and betrayals hurt very much because we cannot make sense of them, right? We think, well, I've given everything to this person. I really went the distance. I lowered my guard down and I was the best partner that I could have been for them. Yet I'm left with nothing. Why? What was the point of it? It doesn't make sense. It's very important to understand that some people come into our life just to place us on a different trajectory. Yes, maybe the connection doesn't last forever, but it can give us something that will last forever. At least this is the meaning that I give to it, Aries. You need to find your own meaning for this, whatever it's going to be, because this is really the key to a happy life. When you can give meaning to pain, all of a sudden you find strength, you find purpose, and you find your way forward. Find it within you, Aries. It's already in there. You just need to acknowledge it. We see it with the Hermit. You just need to look within for that light that will help you moving forward. The worst thing is experiencing something and feeling like it was a complete waste. Right here, give it your own meaning and trust me, you will immediately feel better. You'll immediately feel balanced. It's up to you. It's hard. It's not easy, but it's up to you. Now, let's see what we have in the near future. Let's clarify the Nine of Wands and the Chariot. Okay. Nine of Wands again. Okay, good. Queen of Swords, Seven of Pentacles with the Seven of Swords, and look at this. No more delaying transformation. The Tower is exactly that moment in which you cannot ignore something anymore. You cannot postpone it anymore. This is something that comes in so quick that you miss it if you blink. Now, what I see is that there is a lot of clarity coming in with the Queen of Swords, and this will really make a difference. It's true that life can be understood backwards, but it must live forwards. And this is what you're starting to do here. It looks like for the first time in a while, you're going to be 100% honest with yourself. and you're going to be very practical about things from this moment forward. We see the shift from the Seven of Swords, you lying to yourself, or seeing limitations that weren't really there with the Eight of Swords, going instead to the Seven of Pentacles. Great transformation, very much needed. Right here, you're deciding that you're not wanting to wait anymore, not wanting to just keep reminiscing about the past. You want to start building new memories, new connections, so that you can find happiness again. Often the reason why we cannot let go of someone is because we still have hope that something might happen, you know? But right here, you're starting to detach outcomes from people, and you're just having hope that things will finally start working out for you, regardless of who it happens with, regardless of when it happens and where it happens. You're letting go of the details of your own journey, and you're just trusting the universe once again, trusting that the universe has your back. And you know what? You should definitely do that because you have major surprises coming in the next few months. With the Tower, trust me, this is not an energy that comes in and it doesn't change everything around you. It will. And this is going to be for you. I see that life is now happening for you, not to you anymore, because you're deciding to really create boundaries and say no to what it's not good for you. This mindset shift might sound not that impactful, but it's going to change it all for you. And I'm going to prove it to you with the next few messages. So let's keep looking into this transformation to see what it's coming your way next, Aries. Let's see how your life is bound to change once you let go of expectations and once you let go of a burden that you have carried with you for way too long already. So let's keep going with your messages and let's see what you should expect in the near and distant future as well. If you want to dive deeper into the messages, Aries, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every single week, I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a 100% free, personal, live, 45-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning to confirm. Please just make sure to check out your spam folder. Now, oh my God. Stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Aries. The bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the incoming events. The 10 of Wands reversed. You cannot make this stuff up. Look at this. We were just talking about letting go of a burden. And this is exactly what the 10 of Wands talks about. Letting go of a major burden that you have carried around with you for way too long. Freeing yourself up and completing a journey which you're giving meaning to, and you are deciding to see it in a way that it's going to benefit you from now on, at least. Right here, we see how really the overall dynamics around you are going to change. You're going from having to bend back and forth, having to struggle, having to chase people, opportunities, situations, to instead rest, to instead sit there feeling good about yourself and seeing all these things coming to you instead. This is a very important transformation, and often we miss out on it because we think that in order to really change things, we need for someone else to come in and do it for us. We need for something else to give us the green light. Whereas instead, we just need to understand that if we keep our goals very clear in our mind, we don't compromise, and we don't attach outcomes to people with all the details about with whom something's going to happen, when and where, at that point, we see how finally things are going to finally work out for us. So I'm excited about this. Let's keep going. Let's see what is coming your way in the near future, what you should prepare for, and then we'll see how it's going to evolve. the Emperor, the Ace of Pentacles. Look at that. Two of Pentacles and that Seven of Swords on the Seven of Swords with the King of Cups. Okay, we got a lot to discuss over here. The first thing that we see with the Emperor is that you're finally fully